Hey, what's up, everybody? Jazz Gonzo here. Another episode of What's Next Weekend Edition. Of course, it was a cooler day yesterday, but had to get some errands done. But today, I'm going for the trifecta. Yes! First of 3 videos. And there is maybe a little tie-in between all 3, but I'll leave that to you. Of course, discussing the Ukraine situation with Russia invasion last week, and pretty much it was the story of the week everywhere across the world, with Russia sticking their nose in to Ukraine's business. And of course, Ukrainian president standing strong, and of course, Putin also standing strong to take over that country and its resources. Now, with that being said, let's go with the media. The media has decided to virtue signal and to stop airing their their reporting, quote unquote, in Russia. No longer. They're cutting off ties. They're standing strong. They're standing for the cause. And now for the hypocrisy. While they do that in Russia, China gets a fucking pass. Really. My thoughts on the China situation at the end of this. But let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. CNN, ABC, NBC, pretty much legacy media, has ceased Russian broadcasting arms. The West severance from Russia became more apparent this week when CNN International, ABC, CBS, and other major news outlets announced that they will stop broadcasting in Eastern European country following its invasion of Ukraine. The move out of Russia comes in response to a Kremlin introducing a new law that would jail anyone for spreading fake news or misinformation, familiar words, about the invasion of Ukraine. Russia officials claim that the United States and Western Europe have been intentionally spreading fake news, yes, propaganda, to spark an uprising against the Kremlin. Quote, lawmakers in Moscow passed amendments to the criminal code making the spread of fake information an offense punishable with fines or jail terms. Let's not count out death. They also imposed fines for anyone calling for sanctions against Russia following the invasion of Ukraine. This coming from Daily Mail. Quote, the new legislation was passed by Parliament and will become law when Vladimir Putin signs it. He's widely expected to. It's not clear when Putin would sign the measure, said the outlet. People in violation of the law could face up to 15 years in prison. Yes! For you basically saying, Russia invaded Ukraine, your ass is going to the pokey for the next 15 years. Better pack a big lunch. CNN, ABC, CBS, Bloomberg, I'm just going to say legacy media because they're all involved, all announced they would be discontinuing their broadcasts. CNN will stop broadcasting in Russia while we continue to evaluate the situation and our next steps moving forward, a network spokesman said Friday. The change to the criminal code, which seems to designate to turn any independent reporter, keyword, independent, which CNN is not, into a criminal purely by association, makes it impossible to continue any semblance of normal journalism inside the country, Bloomberg editor-in-chief John Micklethwait said in a statement. The legacy media all made similar announcements. BBC news director Jonathan Monroe confirmed that while broadcasts within the country will be suspended, the network will not be pulling out journalists from Moscow. Quote, we cannot use their reporting for a time being, but they remain valued members of our teams, and we hope to get them back in our output as soon as possible, Monroe tweeted. Monroe, it's with a heavy heart that we have to suspend operations in Russia until we access the impact of new laws which outlaw independent journalism. Thoughts with colleagues in Moscow whose voices cannot be silenced for long. Both Wall Street Journal and Washington Post announced they would not be suspending operations in that country. Interesting. Quote, our top priorities are safety of our employees and covering this important story fairly and fully. Being in Moscow, freely able to talk to officials, capture the mood, is key to the mission, said Wall Street Journal. Quote, we are assessing the details of the Russian law and potential impact of our reporting. We intend to exercise caution while seeking clarity on how to report restrictions regarding these restrictions, would affect Washington Post correspondents and local staff, said the Post. The second Russia announced this news, CNN pulled out. CNN, who have become the masters of misinformation and fake news, pulled out of Russia because Russia passed a law that says anyone passing fake news would get fines or imprisonment. Oh, the irony. Now, my thoughts regarding China. While the legacy media does this to Russia, yet they still purport in China. They still do news in China. Why? Why the hypocrisy? Why the double standard? Well, I think we all know why. Because there are billions and trillions of dollars involved. Access is involved. We saw how the legacy media protected China for the better part of 2 years because of the coup. Because of misinformation and fake news. They kissed the Chi-Com's ass. You have sports leagues kissing the Chi-Com's ass, but yet I stand against Russia. We stand against the cause, says major sports leagues. Corporations such as Disney, Pepsi, Coke, McDonald's, Nike, Microsoft still continue to kiss the ass of the Chi-Coms, but yet now they're even contemplating about pulling out of Russia regarding the Russia-Ukrainian invasion. Wow. 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 Should anybody be surprised? I'm not. But it's interesting that you have a country being accused of war crimes, as Russia is, and rightly so. What they're doing in Ukraine is an act of war. But yet, you have Chi-Coms who have tortured the Uyghur Muslims, who have tortured Chinese Christians, who have gone underground because they can no longer preach the word of God for fear of imprisonment and or death. But yet, that's okay. The media says that's okay. Sports leagues say that's okay. But Russia, no. Evil Russia. Evil Putin. And he is. Putin's an evil son of a bitch. There's no ifs, ands, or dots about it. Or should I say ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it's interesting. The hypocrisy. My. How do they sleep at night? Well, when you're getting greased, and when your palms are getting greased, well, but that's just me. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below, like it, share it, subscribe to it, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.